Yo, 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 No Maniacs. Welcome to Nomad Live, all Bears all the time, in conjunction with Sports Zone Chicago and the SuperBack Shawn Sierra. Got the truck up there. Kedz and Keith just came off mute. Good job. And Keith's down there on catnip again, man. We got a lot to talk about, man. And before we get into all the news, which we will, just so you guys know, in case you haven't noticed, the super chat is on. We've already seen some super love. I seen Black Rain, I believe I saw, and Dog, something. I can't remember exactly what his name, but we'll get to all of that at the end of the show. If they pile up, we'll get to some of them in between. But appreciate the love already, man. Keep it coming. No Maniacs, we're going to need your help today because we're busy doing the show, and we're going to be involved and engaged. We do have a couple of producers, Chris and Brian, back there working, but just in case we miss something that breaks over the airways while we're on the air, it'd be a nice favor if you all could, whatever you got, your phone, computer, laptop, just keep us abreast of what's going on, especially in regards to the Bears, and we'll talk about it as we see it. But again, thanks everybody to the show. Thank you, Bink, the DJ. I see that. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But kids, man, let's give out some pleasantries before we get cut.
What's going down, No Maniacs? Fun times to be a Bear fan. So we're gonna go through some free agency fun today. We're gonna start that up, and I won't hold up the show. SuperBack, what are you saying, brother?
Sports owners, no Maniacs unite. Man, we have a phenomenal show, man. I can't wait to break it down and give you my theory of what I would look at underneath my name. Chess, not checkers, baby. It's some high-level stuff. And if you don't think stuff like this happens in the NFL, you obviously didn't watch Ballers. Man, it's going to blow your Mickey Ficky mind.
What's going on, No Maniacs? And our sports zoners, how y'all doing this afternoon? Yes, sir. We about to talk some ball, baby. Let's get right into it. Let's get into it. Nomad, what's going on?
I'm going to get clean out of the way and let Shawn get going with his synopsis, which has me intrigued because I have not heard a word of it. It's going to be new to me as it will be to some of y'all. I think you spoke on that early on your show, Shawn. Am I correct?
I did.
Okay, it's news to me, so I'm listening.
So all along, in a long story short, and I'll give you the details, Justin's staying. All right? He was never on a trading block. Never. Okay? Here's why. We know what the situation was before. Okay? You fired the whole offensive staff when you could have got rid of Justin if Justin was the problem. Okay? That was one thing. Then you decided not to allow him to search for a trade. Well, you did that with Jalen Johnson. Why not a quarterback that you didn't draft? It's easy to cut ties with something like that. Okay. Then I'm wondering, I'm looking at Caleb and I'm like, why? There was something there. You know how when you open a box of a new puzzle, all right, you get the box of puzzles, you open it and you turn it on the table. It's like, it's all there. Like, all right, it's there. I just got to put it together. And it came together today. So Caleb decides not to participate at the combine. Okay. He's there cheering, doing his PR thing. But the most important thing was he decided not to give medicals. Why wouldn't you give medicals? That doesn't make sense. All right. He's the first person in the history, combine, since it started in 1992, 93, I want to say, that didn't give his medicals. Okay. Then he said, I'm only taking visits, a couple of visits. I'm not giving everyone my medicals because everyone can't draft me, so they don't need them. And when it happened, I'm like, okay, something's wrong. There's something there, and I just can't see it. Here's what it is. Okay. What him and his people are doing is they're trying to corner the market on who they get traded to, where they go. Okay. Because you can't, the NFL, I know it's a not-for-profit, but every team is its own company, its own organization. You can't share medical information from one team to another. Okay. That's a HIPAA law. Okay. You can't do that. So if you don't have the medicals, well, guess what? No one's trading for a draft pick that you don't have medicals. That's why the combine was actually started. Mike Florio said it in one of the interviews. I don't remember who he was talking about. That's why it was started. You have all 32 teams there, all 32 teams' doctors there, and then you go through and they check you. Well, guess what? He's only going to go to a couple. And so Chicago, They already set it for the 20th. And I'll tell you why they pushed it out to the 20th. Probably Washington. It may be a couple more. Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised. I'll bet dollars to dimes that he's not going to go to more than 5 places. I would bet dollars to dimes. Now, I got no source. This is common sense here. All right? So don't say, where'd you hear from? Me. So now here's the situation. You can't trade that number 1 pick because if people don't have medicals on them, they're not taking them. There's no way on God's green earth the team is going to take a number 1 overall pick without knowing medicals. What if he has an impingement in his hip, in his arm, in his knee, in his whatever, and you give him that the number 1 overall money, guarantee, whatever it's going to be, and now you're screwed. So what they're trying to do, in my opinion, they're trying to find out where they want the corner of the market. So when you say he only goes to 3 places, well, guess what? There's only 3 people that the Bears can sit. And let's just go to 3. Say he only goes to Chicago and Washington. Well, guess what? The Giants are going to take him. Falcons, they already got their quarterback. No one else is trading up for him because they don't have the medicals. So Washington's like, okay, well, guess what? This is the only spot you got. We're not going to give you a haul that you want because otherwise you're going to take him and that's not what you want. That's not what you want. So they're trying to corner the market. Okay. His father has already asked about ownership. It's not happening. But there was a lot of entitlement, a lot of crazy, crazy things. All right, that his dad was doing, and just bugged me. It didn't sit well with me. So if you remember what Ryan Poles said, he wanted to get this done by free agency. Well, what happened? Well, they wanted him to come Tuesday after the combine, and they're like, no. Because here's what happens. If the Bears, he goes there, they're going to check him out with their doctors. If they're going to find out he's okay. If the Bears put that number 1 pick up for sale, even though they won't be able to, or they may not have medicals for other teams, the Bears can just say, hey, listen, from our side, we're comfortable with where we're at putting this number 1 pick on the market. So what it is them controlling the narrative on where they want to go. So they push it back to the 20th. So the Bears like, shit, okay, yeah, fine, we'll do it. So as soon as the 20th comes, they're going to put that pick up. Because we've talked about why Justin. If you're not on Justin, why is he still here? Why is he still here? When the market was hot for him, why didn't you trade him? Because you were never trading him to begin with. Why is the market so bleak and so light on Justin? Because he's never been on the market to begin with. And people have asked about Justin. Okay, a good GM is going to do his due diligence and say, hey, listen, how much for Justin? Just because you feel calls about Justin doesn't mean he's on the block. People don't understand that. I can ask you about it, but you just say, he's not for sale. And once the word gets around, no one's going to come up for Justin. We're not giving him a third. He's not on the block. That's the situation. So they went. This is chess, not checkers. They went through the HIPAA laws and said you can't trade and you can't give my medicals to any of the other teams. Can't do it. That's a lawsuit, big time. So now this is where he's trying to go. And I told you before. I said Magic Johnson's involved with the ownership group in Washington. I would not be surprised if he had something to do with this if they want him in Washington and they go get him for Washington. I would not be surprised if something like that happened. And if you don't believe me, go watch Ballers. Go look at all the backdoor, all the politics and all the snaky stuff that people do in that show. And that's based off of people who played in the NFL. Guys who write the script, Rashad Mendenhall, all those guys were in the NFL. This is all stuff that they've dealt with. So I don't know where he's going to go. I think it's going to, and remember, I said, I just want them to get to Washington. Switch places with Washington. That's all I wanted. Remember, if I believe I said it on this show, you know what? Give him, we'll take less. We'll take 2-3 assets. We'll take the swap, the number 2. We'll take next year's number 1, because to me, that's the most important pick. Next year's number 1, and then give me our number 2 back for Montez Sweat. Just give me those 3. I'll get to number 2, and then I can really work from there, because a whole lot of other people are going to be coming up for, for that slot for the quarterback. That is what Caleb Williams, in my opinion, that's what Caleb Williams and his camp are doing. I must say kudos to his camp for thinking outside the box and going the HIPAA route.
Go ahead, Kedz. We'll start with you.
Well, you know what? I'm kind of going to leave everything Shawn said alone because, yeah, Shawn warned me before, in the green room. He's like, Kedz, I'm going to blow your mind here today. Let me blow your mind. So here we are. My mind's a little bit blown. I'm with your depiction of all of this, Shawn, just simply because, again, who's gonna invest in a player without knowledge of whether they're hurt or not? Like that's a major monster issue. So I'm gonna throw that back to the rest of you guys. But before I do, I'm just gonna hit some of these super chats commenting on exactly what Shawn is talking about. So just straight up bear down, fellas, from the homie Black Rain 7920, Doge Killer Don. If the Bears always intended to draft Caleb, what's the point of all the secrecy? Great question. The taking of the North has begun. Bink the DJ, I feel you, brother. Yes, it has.
Can I jump in there real quick? Tell you why?
Yeah, bro, go for it.
I'll tell you why that the secrecy. Because if you feel that Ryan Poles wants that pick, if you feel that he values that pick, okay, you're going to have to come up off of it more. All right, think about when you sell something. All right, if you sell an old baseball glove, okay, all right, here's $5. All right, cool. But if you get a brand new baseball glove and there's no more baseball gloves, and that's the hottest, the Wilson A2000, and you got the new glove, and what are all your boys? Oh man, I'll pay for it. No, it cost me $150. I'll give you 160. I'll give you 170. I'll give you 180. He's driving the market up because if they think it's valuable to him and he wants it and is going to use it, they understand that they are going to have to come up off a haul in order to get it. That's what he's doing. That's why the secrecy.
Go ahead, Keith.
Wow.
Well, I'm just going to say this, Shawn, you unzipped the bag and dumped a lot out, brother, and I'm not going to dispute any of it. What I will add to it, though, is I'm going to go back to the combine, and when Caleb was doing his presser, everybody thought that he was talking to the Bears, and he might even mention the Bears when he said, "Are you ready to win?" And I thought that was a kind of a signal to those who want to come get that pick, because I truly believe that this has been something that's been in the works and orchestrated for quite some time since the hiring of Cliff Kingsbury in Washington. Once again, I'm going to always say, and I know I said it when I first came onto the show, that if the Bears was that hell-bent on going after Caleb, they had the opportunity to hire the guy that's been standing on the sideline with him the entire season. They could have easily done that and would have just, hey, okay, this is what it is, and could have been and traded Justin. So, Shawn, you're not going to get no argument out of me, my man. I'm fully down with you on that one. You know what I'm saying? Because it's music to my ears. I'm going to go ahead and pass it to Nomad. Nomad, what you got to say about this, brother?
Well, it's sound reasoning, and we kind of what Shawn is saying. It kind of goes to what we were talking about the whole thing with Caleb not doing certain things, being intentional on their end of it, and who's involved in it. It's some sound reasoning that Shawn is using, man. And I really, be honest with you, man, everybody's getting on us in the chat, though. We need to be talking about free agency. We're going to in just a second. But I always thought the Williams to Washington was going to be a thing, and how they got to it was going to be kind of topsy-turvy. I thought I always felt like it would get a little bit messy, but I didn't think it would get to this point, but Shawn made some good points, and I don't really have a lot to argue with about it, man. I think he's on to something. In fact, I think he's more likely than not, to be quite frank with you, what his reason and judgment there. I think so, but I think we could talk about that all day. Maybe we'll come back to it later, man, but we got to get to some free agency news. As everybody,
hold on. No, man, before you transition out, let me just crush these lovely super chats that have come in from all the awesome No Maniacs. Yoshaya Yadua, just a super sticker. Thanks for representing with us today. Jason, just wanted to show us some appreciation, and we do appreciate it, Jason. Jay Evans, $2 super chat. Fields was never on the market, full stop. Right in line with where our where Sean's the SuperBack stocks were, and another $10 from Arturo Arnold. Hey Arturo, thanks for representing with us today. And let's get into some of that free agency now, sir. What's on the plate?
Appreciate the love, people. Keep it coming. We definitely appreciate it. We definitely need it. But hey, the biggest news today so far for the Bears has been DeAndre Swift. We were, I've been getting a little pushback from people on the panel. Sometimes people in the chat.
It's always me, by the way. Just
right.
Continue.
I don't want to say no names, but get a little pushback about the idea of getting a running back. And you know what? Be quite frank with you, it was Saquon. In this order, it was Josh Jacobs, Saquon, and my outside favorite was DeAndre Swift. I'm ecstatic they got DeAndre Swift because I think the shifty, the lateral agility, and the lateral quickness was exactly what we were missing. We talked about that, kid. You remember at the very beginning of the offseason, they need a certain type of running back. And DeAndre Swift is that back we were talking about. And so I'm not going to pat myself on the back or the network on the back for calling that out, but I'm going to do that shit. I'm patting myself. And we're going to pat ourselves.
I'm patting you on the back too, brother. I'm patting you on the back right now.
You
feel that?
We hitting our
the old Barry Horowitz self-pat on
runs, man. We're hitting home runs. We said that we needed a safety and we get one in free agency. We said they needed a certain kind of back in free agency, and we got him. So let's just go ahead. I'm just going to pass it off to you, kids, and see what you think about it.
Yeah, fine. So I'm going to poop on this one. All right. So we've talked quite a bit about running backs, and given the way that the top of that list looked, I would say DeAndre Swift was probably the sixth or seventh back on just the overall list from a production perspective. Now, that also goes from a dollars and cents perspective. So I'm not angry or, I'm not upset with the dollars and cents for the deal. The only thing that I'll say there is reportedly Tony Pollard was asking for about the same thing. And if it was me, I probably would have went with Pollard. That's just me. I feel that Pollard, Eckler, Josh Jacobs, Henry, I think I'm missing one. Oh, Saquon Barkley. I think all of those guys, again, would have commanded a fair amount more than what we're paying for DeAndre Swift. So, again, good on Ryan Poles in that, in that respect. My beef is that I think those other guys would have brought a lot more oomph to the Bears. That's it. Outside of that, I'm going to shut up on this whole R&B thing and celebrate the move because now we've got a much more stacked running back room regardless. So that's the end of my poop.
I like it. I love the signing. All right. I love the signing. The guy, the guy was hurt a lot. Well, listen, change of scenery. And it's not as if we signed him and cut him. And it's not how it happened. All right. We have one hell of a running back room now. All right. And it's going to make Khalil Herbert work. It's going to make Roschon Johnson, low man on the totem pole, work. And this is all you want. You want competition within groups. So this guy's electric. Him and Justin play together. They'll be back in the same backfield again, which is great.
Yeah.
Okay. Some familiarity. Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. I just, just hope he doesn't drop any open touchdown passes in the end zone because we liked it when he did it before, but we won't like it if he does it again.
Go ahead, Keith.
Well, I would say I like the signing myself. I really like the pairing of what he brings to the running back room. Actually, I think pairing him along with Roschon Johnson and adding that little extra spice with Khalil Herbert, I think is just what we needed. I like it because he can get skinny when he comes through the hole. So between that and he's got that burst.
Not to do it.
I'm sorry. I think that's a really good move. But how I saw it as another indicator because his agent and the current quarterback, QB1, both their agents are from the same agency. Again, I'm going to keep saying this. I'm going to harp on this. Nobody is signing a contract to go anywhere without knowing what the plan is. Don't think that conversation's not being had. So with that, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it because we got a lot of other people to talk about, but I will definitely say I'm all for it. And remember, I did mention yesterday, if we were going to go and make a run at a running back, it had to be between 6 and 8 mil. And we hit that at 8 mil. So I'm okay with it. I think it's a great pick. Nomad, take it away, brother.
I think it's the perfect pick. One of those three backs. Of course, I was Josh Jacobs all the way and was hoping that would happen. We didn't get him. I guess the price was a little too high. It was dangerous as the Packers got him, and I don't like that. I
don't like it either.
I think Saquon.
But they did say Bears was his second choice, but it did come down to money.
Doesn't matter. Don't matter.
How much for that?
Packers have also signed Xavier McKinney.
Yeah, I was going to get to that. We got a whole list of dudes here, man. Got a whole list of dudes. Let's get started with this because it's a bunch. Let me see here. Hold on, guys. The Vikings picked up Jonathan Grenard, man. Anybody want to touch that? Defensive end. That was a name people were talking about. Let me just go through the list. How about this? You guys can stop me if you want to talk about it, guy. All right. So Grenard, the Titans picked up Tony Pollard.
Oh, so that's where Pollard went. Okay.
The Vikings? Damn. Okay.
No, the Titans.
Oh, Titans. Okay.
Sources say, now we keep an eye on this, nothing yet, but sources say the Bears could be interested in defensive tackle DJ Reader because, as we all know, Christian Wilkins came off the board and went to, let me think if I can remember. I think he went to Vegas.
Raiders.
He went to the Raiders.
You guys want to stop there? Talk about that? Because we talked about this yesterday, and I thought the most unlikely guy that was on the thumbnail yesterday was D tackle Christian Wilkins. We ended up getting a running back, which the running back wasn't on the thumbnail, but I think the next person in line. Now I've been hearing rumors. Now I'm just hearing rumors. You know, there's a little bit of, some cryptic tweets out there that are saying kind of, watch out for where Danielle Hunter goes and. Word is on the street that the Bears are heavily trying to pursue him. Now, I don't have a real source to lean on, but that seems to be unanimous on some of the people that I'm following right now. Y'all want to start right there?
Yeah, real quick. Go ahead, Kedz.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, if we go get Danielle Hunter, I'm in. I'm cool with it. Either him, and don't forget Eric Armstead is available as well. He just got released by the 49ers. If you have to ask me, I would say get that 3 tech because you can always. I think we have an emerging 3 tech in Javon Dexter Sr. But as far as a rotational piece, I want guys you can rotate where you don't get a break when a dude comes in, and you can always put with Montez Sweat, Javon Dexter, or another stud 3 tech and Billings. You can put an average. You can put a Yannick Ngakoue on the other side, and he should eat someone of that caliber. I'm not saying him in particular. I'm just saying you could put someone of that. You don't need a great defensive end because you got a whole bunch of other problems on that defensive line, and that dude's going to have a lot of one-on-ones. And if you can win those one-on-ones, man, there's going to be a lot of meetings at the quarterback. So if I had gun to my head, if I had to say 3 tech or edge. Give me that stud 3 tech because I don't know if Javon Dexter's going to get to that dominant level this year. He might be improved and be really good. I don't know if he's going to get dominant this year. He might get dominant next year. But I don't know if he's ready to take that dominant step like, oh, damn, where you have to game plan around him. I don't know if he's ready for that yet. I think he's ready for improvement, definitely, just not, boom, increments.
Will he get to dominant next year if you take snaps away from him this year, though?
No, because you're rotating, and what's going to happen is he's going to be fresh. It's going to be fresh. So you play this series, I'll play next series. You play this series, I play next series.
So we got more stuff going on. I just started a comic. Gus Edwards. I always like Gus Edwards in Baltimore, man. I think he's a top back in the league, top 10, 15 at least. And he's going to the Chargers, I believe. I think I saw the Chargers. Is that right?
Yeah.
So there's another piece that's gone. Here, how about some of the Chris's favorite center on the market has gone to the Titans, who has picked up Lloyd Cushenberry. Chris, you want to speak on that at all?
Oh, well, he was my favorite only if he came to the Bears. So he picked up Bates. I kind of saw the writing on the wall. I think Cushenberry, he's good. I mean, but no longer a possibility for us. So move on.
So Cushenberry's off the market. Mitch Morse, another center, has gone to Jacksonville. Dorrance Armstrong to the Commanders. I think he got a favorable looking deal for some of his performance, and then he's following Dan Quinn to Jacksonville. To Washington, of course. It's a system that he's familiar with. Good name we talked about a few times here. We can stop and talk about anybody you want to. You guys can stop me when you feel like it. Gabriel Davis to the Jags. Anybody want to stop and talk about that?
Who went to the Jags?
Gabriel Davis.
That's actually really good for them, especially considering that they.
Yeah.
It is. They lost Ridley, if I'm correct. So Ridley was over there, basically spent a year and then left. So they've got an opening at wide receiver, and I think Gabe Davis is caliber enough for them to spend some decent money on him to really shore up what they require over there alongside Christian Kirk. So I don't think that's a bad move at all.
Anybody? Nobody else? Okay,
No.
so we got of course Christian Wilkins to Vegas, Darnell Savage to the Jags, and I believe I heard Chris say at the very beginning here that Xavier McKinney went to Green Bay.
Went to Green Bay.
Big, huge move for them. They went with the younger safety that cost a bit more money. I think I can't remember a price on it, but I know they paid a nice amount to pick him up. And so the Packers are reloading, man. They're trying to get
fast in a hurry.
4 years, $68 million, $17 million per year average.
Wow.
Beautiful. Spend all your money. Blow all that cap space.
So Brad Holmes in the chat, man. He ain't gonna like this news. His all pro guard, Jonah Jackson, is gone. He went to
So while you're searching that up, Berlissimo's back in the chat. I got to give Berlissimo a little bit of love here because he was saying when we were going through our running backs the other day, he was saying DeAndre Swift the whole time. So Berlissimo, good call on the DeAndre Swift. I'm not super stoked about it. You might be. At the end of the day, I think he's going to perform, so I ain't complaining.
You said they're talking about an ESPN that the market for Justin Fields there is no market for Justin Fields. Because he's not on the block. Yeah, we can't get anything for Fields. We should release him. Nope. Ryan Poles.
I saw one say release him for Minshew. Really?
Yeah.
Who said that?
This is the thing where we talk about you don't.
In the chat.
This is why you don't follow major or national media. All right, they don't know what's going on with your team. All right, they have an East Coast bias first and foremost, and they don't have your team not in mind. They just don't care.
Right.
They don't know. They don't have anyone on the so they got Courtney Cronin here, but she's not. So she Darling Waddle, Jerko and Sylvie. Yeah. Again, here's the thing. Most people think checkers. This is not checkers. You're not thinking like a billionaire. You're not. You're not. All right. Jerko's as a meathead. All right. He's just a straight meathead. And there's a lot of people don't think this way. They don't think big picture. They think, well, we gotta do this, we gotta do this. It's not, it's just people don't think that way. It's easier to be sheeple and go with what people tell you. All right. But when you step back and you look at stuff, man, people are gonna billionaires get what they want. Billionaires most times get what they want. So
So words on the streets there. Sounds like the Bears and the 49ers are in the Danielle Hunter sweepstakes, which makes a lot of sense to me because they're moving away from Chase Young. And if they can land themselves a Danielle Hunter, they'll be happy, which really also means for us, we'll probably do the Chase Young thing if Danielle goes to San Francisco and they spend the big money on Danielle, which will open up a situation where we can spend a fair amount less on Chase Young.
I hope we don't get Chase Young. I hope. I just don't. I know he's just a teammate and everything, and maybe the change of scenery will be good for him. I don't know, but I'm not a big fan of Chase Young. I thought he was great in college. I thought he had one good year or so in Washington, but for some reason, there's just too much
lack of production.
too much lack
man.
of
Just
hustle.
say it.
Lack of hustle.
He just had a change of scenery last year, and he underperformed in San Francisco with a dominant line
With a playoff team. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm with you, Sean. I think for some reason he's not hitting where we thought he would hit. So
yeah, I'm not. I don't want to spend big, I don't want to spend Danielle Hunter money on a Chase Young. Let's put it that way. I don't mind spending a heck of a lot less on him and bringing him here, giving him more or less again the ability to reset with a dominant line. I think our line will be super dominant regardless as to who is really at that other side. But if it's Danielle, for me, the upside in bringing Danielle is that it really opens up the center of that defensive line and will make it a situation where you have to decide whether you got to double team Danielle Hunter or double team Montez Sweat. And the reality to that is that Gervon Dexter and Andrew Billings are going to eat lunch all day long. Like that's what that's going to work out to. Those guys should be free running, and it should be a much different situation. All the more reason for us not to necessarily go and get a DT. So I would be just as happy with an AJ Espinosa on a $8 to $10 million case scenario. Like that works just the same to me. But I think it'll all come down to dollars and cents if Chase Young is the guy. If Danielle Hunter's the guy, we spent big money.
Right.
I think Chase Young will have to really convince them, Flus especially, that he has a true desire to play football, man, because we know Flus want guys, as well as Poles, they want guys that just want to just eat, sleep, and drink football. And I just question that with Chase. I don't know if it's because he had gotten injured, he lost that, but even then, I mean, it really seemed like once he knew he was in the league and he had accomplished that goal and gotten that first bag, man, hey, I'm good. I made it to the league. That's what I wanted to do. And I haven't seen much beyond that. Now, if he has a resurgence and can convince them that he really wants to play ball, then, and even with that, it's a 1 to 2 year prove it deal, and it's on the cheap. Otherwise, I take Epinesa and somebody else if we need to, a rookie, and try to get that and get equal to, if not better, production than trying to pay one guy who we can who's questionable regarding his desire to play football. That's just my take on it. So,
well, questionable by way of age. I kind of agree with you. Barlissimo in the chat here is suggesting DJ Wanham and Espinosa combined would be much less than a Danielle Hunter signing, and I would be happy with that. Now you have a ridiculous rotation. In case any one of those guys goes down, you got a backup in place, and it doesn't preclude you from, again, drafting a defensive end. Just, likely not at the very tippy top of the draft, though. But
he talked about Armstead. They already released Armstead, Barlissimo. You must not have heard it. They released Eric Armstead, so he's on the market as well. So, again, you get another 3-tech. If you get him, and then you can get a couple of expensive defensive ends to rotate. Man, that's crazy, because what that'll do.
You do one of each, Sean, right? You could get yourself an Eric Armstead at DT, and then there's your 3-tech, and then you go and get AJ Espinosa on the edge.
Yeah. And
again, I think those two moves would again be a fair amount less than getting yourself a Danielle Hunter, and you've really vastly improved that line.
He's solid. He's not great. He's solid, and that's what that's all you want because of all the studs. The other 3 studs.
Yeah.
If you guys don't mind, let's pause this conversation for a second and do a station ID.
All right.
All right.
The best Chicago Bears content anywhere. Catch Nomad live pregame 1 hour prior to kickoff, and Nomad at night postgame And every Friday evening at 7 p.m. Central on all the most popular streaming platforms. And only on the Nomad Network.
That's right, No Maniacs. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you hit the subscribe. And y'all got us kicking butt. Make sure you do it here on Nomad Network, and make sure you do it over there on Sports Zone Chicago. Do the same. Give the same love. We would appreciate it. Guaranteed. But I'm just going to keep pushing you guys to say this. If you guys think and you are impressed with the kind of content that we produce and put out there, and you want us to be competitive with the top Bears podcasters out there, help build us into the monster you wish us to be. So, I mean, you guys have gotten off. I mean, we got 254 in the chat right now. So if we can get 100 people that are not subscribed to the network to subscribe, if we keep doing that every day, before you know it, it's going to be boom, 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 boom on CHGO's door. Like, hey, you got a neighbor. We your new neighbor. We don't like you. No, we ain't going to do anything like that. I'm just kidding around. That's what we might hear coming out of the door, but we ain't gonna feel like that. But turn us into what you want us to be, man. Get at least half of those people to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'm telling you, we'll be sitting right next door to them, and they won't like our presence. We'll just tell you that. So let's keep this conversation going. How about I throw a little twist in here, man? Because
right on.
That I just, and while my internet was rebooting, man, that Daniil Hunter conversation ain't dying down, man. It's quiet for a reason. I think there's a bidding war going on, which we kind of predicted, coming into free agency about who would get him. Brad Holmes and the Detroit Lions would love to have him, man, but we need to keep a creative advantage, man. Some kind of we got to be able to fight them if they get that guy, and we have one potentially elite offensive lineman, offensive tackle. We don't have another one. If we draft one, it's going to take him time to develop too. But I think it's imperative that we make a very competitive offer to Daniil Hunter, one way or the other. Not because we have to, but because we damn have to. We don't want Detroit to get that guy. Unfortunately, I would love to see the two defensive end and free agency scenario play out, but I don't think we have the luxury to do that, fellas. I think we cannot let Detroit get an opportunity to take this dude off the board, and we don't get him. Go ahead, kid.
It just leads me back to Justin Fields, as well as leads me back to what Bill Polian said about our team and the blue chippers required. In my opinion, given the Goff trade, the Stafford trade, Detroit was able to sort of jump up and get themselves a couple of additional blue chippers over us, which sort of explains why they're the team they are and why they went as far into the playoffs as they did. We're almost there, guys. I think we need again to up our blue chip stock, and in that respect, I'm all for keeping the blue chippers we have on the team, aka Justin Fields, and moving forward with additional blue chippers. So that's where I am on all that.
The word I'm getting is that the Bears and San Francisco,
that's what I'm hearing as well. That seems to be
Detroit's name.
That seems to be the move. I don't see Detroit listed either. I'm right there with Chris on this one, but to be honest with you, we have to, Ryan Poles has to be wary and play a little bit of defense with these signings as well. He has to do his best not to allow, the remaining teams in the North to really stack up blue chippers against us. So that's, hopefully he continues to do that, and we can get ourselves somebody like Daniil in Chicago, as opposed to allowing him to go to either Minnesota or, he's coming from Minnesota, but definitely not going to the to the Lions. I don't think the Packers can afford him.
Looks like the Raiders may be. I think it was the Raiders that may be in advanced talks. Am I right, Bellissimo? The Raiders in advanced talks to get Austin Eckler, Keith's favorite. Man, it's going to be a busy day today, man. There's just no other way around it. I mean, as we talk, I'm sure things are happening. Let me look at my list and make sure I'm not forgetting anything to talk about. Devontae Parker released from the Patriots. Denico Autry to the Texans. Let me see here. Cousins to Atlanta. We gotta talk about that, man.
Yep.
Well, it's not a done deal yet, so that's probably the
Yes,
only
it
reason.
is. It's a done. It's a
Is it
done deal,
done?
brother.
Yeah.
It's
He
done,
signed it.
bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, bro. It's
100,
done.
880.
4 years. Yeah, 4 years, 180.
100 a
Literally
year.
Yeah.
just
40
looked at this.
45
That
million
dude,
over 4 years.
hey, he had if nobody has worked the free agency market, they better take he need to write a book, bro. Because this cat has gotten fat.
Yep.
I mean
Well,
fat. I mean, hey,
honestly,
but I love it.
his
I,
story
I
is
love I love it for Atlanta. I love it for Atlanta.
Jay
Yes.
Grizz. I don't know, man. We are kind of playing this by ear, just like everybody else. If something huge happens while we go off air, we'll probably have to do one. But I don't know. We hope that whatever breaks while we're on the show, it'd be nice to just get it all out there. But yeah, Kirk Cousins, man. I'm gonna tell you guys something, and this is nothing, no shade to no particular
This is
person at
Kurt
all.
now, baby. This is
But I
Kurt.
but I watched for months now. People pretty much, how people are on Twitter. They pretty much have traded Justin to Atlanta. Pretty much pushed him off to X team, and X team. But that was the one that he's going to Atlanta before the
Hometown.
free agency period starts. He's going to be an Atlanta Falcon.
Mhm.
Now here we are at the free agency period, and Justin is still a Bear. I just want to know right now how those people that are running their mouths about what's going to happen. I mean, Fields was gone for sure at X date, but for certain, I mean, it's in concrete that on the day of free agency, he would be gone. Justin Fields is still a Bear. And the Atlanta Falcons just signed Kirk Cousins. Not only that, the Pittsburgh Steelers just signed Russell Wilson. Let me think. There's another quarterback move that I'm not sure of. In fact, I think Minnesota is hot on the heels of Sam Darnold, is what I heard. And that was Diana Rossini. And so, you know what?
Did you say hot on the heels of Sam Darnold?
Hot on the heels.
He's right.
Thank you, Chris, because I was holding in the laughter.
Hold on, before y'all get going, I just want to say this. It's supreme confidence that we approach the show with about why and our reasonings why Justin Fields will remain a Bear is getting more and more likely to come into fruition. I think there's pretty much nowhere else. What else are you going to do with Justin Fields? What else? What can you do? I mean, all that talk, and Justin Fields is still a Bear at the free agency period signing. So, I mean, go ahead, kids. I'm just going to let y'all take over before I get really going.
Someone said Hogue said the Bears are going to cut Justin Fields. Shit.
Don't cut him out, Sean. Don't do that.
Well, no,
I put myself on mute.
It's a fair thing for Sean to bring up. At the end of the day, just to sort of revisit how we started this conversation today with Sean. It's highly possible that the Bears told those teams that they just weren't going to trade him, and this is part of the reason why they're off getting. I'm pretty sure all of those teams, checked in to see what was popping, as in the Steelers, Atlanta.
You see that kid?
You know what I'm saying? What's this? Raiders signed Minshew, right? Like that's not surprising. He fits perfectly with Luke Getsy. He'll get rid of the ball real quick, and they'll slide into mediocrity faster than anybody could think. In any event, it's highly possible that the Bears never really put him on the block and told those guys, if we're not talking about a first round pick, then we're not talking. So off they went to go and look at the other quarterbacks on the market, and away they go. Given again that they spent 2 first rounders on the kid, anything less than a 1 is just foolish. You can't cut him. That's just wrong, right? You get nothing for the 2 first rounder investment.
I don't believe they would have told any team that he wasn't up for trade, because that would diminish the value of the first pick. So that's basically telling them that we're going to keep Fields. Fields is our starter. And thereby you're going to value the first pick. I don't think they did that. They might have priced what they asked for, and that's more likely. But to say we're not going to trade him, I think that we know that by now.
So I just want to. Sorry, Keith. Just before you jump here, I just want to. I want to hit this super chat from Mitch Osborne. Mitch, big respect. You are no maniac and a half. You just sent us a monster $99 super chat. I'm just going to read what Mitch has here, although it's not directly related to what we're talking about. I can appreciate it. I can't subscribe for more than myself, but been wanting to support y'all for a while now. Love the show. The SuperBack Super Facts really got me thinking. In other news, how funny that the Bears basically traded Monty for Swift with the Lions. I guess that's a good way of looking at it, considering he's a little bit younger. They decided to move off. We put him into place here this coming season. Interesting move. But Mitch, hey, man, thank you. And you are a no maniac, unlike any other. We'll give you mad respect as we move forward, and we did in the past. We'll continue to do so. Love that, Mitch.
Mitch Osborne, in the famous words of every Jamaican I ever met in my life, respect, man. Respect from an actual Jamaican too. So there you go. Okay, appreciate that, Mitch, man. What a way to show your love, man. I do. We really appreciate that. But go ahead, Keith. You was chopping that.
Right,
Sorry.
Let me try to pull back my thought here. I'm a little up in age, so I can't always hold on to it. But I will say this: so much for the insiders, huh? The insiders been saying all along. Justin is out of here. He's going to Atlanta. He's going back home. But before that, he was going to Pittsburgh. Now we got some of the talking here. So I just cut him. I mean, come on, man. Every once in a while, man, we all have to take a L. And I think we can just about say it's time to take that lap and take that L. Because, again, read the tea leaves, man. There's been certain moves that has taken place that has indicated, but more importantly, the words that come out of people's mouths. And I gotta quote Greg Gabriel when he had mentioned once before when he worked in Buffalo, the GM that he worked with there would literally go to the podium each time and tell the truth on what he was going to do. And everybody just assumed he was lying. So here we have a GM that's doing the same exact thing, telling you, if you listen to what he is saying, what his intentions are, but nobody wants to believe this man. Yet, out of their necks, they say, impose we trust. But what they don't say under their breath is, as long as he does what I want him to do. So with that being said, hey, man, check it out. It's a beautiful day today, isn't it? It's just a beautiful day today to be talking football. And it looks like Shawn going to be able to pull his list out real soon. And I can't wait to be present for that. Because, brother, I got one myself. I got some receipts too, man. And then when the good old voice of Tommy, yeah, dog, it's going to be good.
Man.
Keith.
Let me tell you guys something. There was always this a world where that front office and that coaching staff looked at this roster as it was currently constructed. Looked at the quarterback position first, I'm sure. What do we have here with this kid? What is his upside? Or do we even know what his upside is because of the situation we've provided, the situation that was given to him when he got here, the situation we provided him with. And then we give him an offensive coordinator who really couldn't really game plan to scheme, to fit this kid's needs. So how do we really know what this kid really has, his ceiling? How do we actually help this kid actualize his ceiling? First thing they did as soon as the offseason was over, just gut the whole offensive coaching staff.
But he's the problem. But Justin's the problem.
Gut it. Everybody wanted to ignore that. Everybody thought that, okay, yeah, Getsy could have been the problem, but we're still taking Caleb at one. You guys, you have to really be an avid film watcher, really, to kind of know what I'm talking about here. But when you do look at the film, there are so many things that happen in the dynamics of what did we drop, Shawn? Probably 5 games we should have held on to, 4 or 5 of them.
three massive collapses, and maybe another one. So just give me three of the three massive collapses. That's 10-7. We're in the playoffs.
And so you have that dynamic, and you I think he fumbled one late in the game and turned it over. That probably did cost us the game. I can't remember which one it was, but I do remember that game. He got hit from behind and swiped and coughed it up. They were moving that ball. They were moving that ball, and they were in position to do something with it. And it was on him. He got stripped. Ain't no other getting around that. But most of those losses, 9 out of 10 times, it was the defense giving up leads. And so when the introspection happened, when they had to look at themselves in the mirror, how much of that could you really blame on the quarterback? And going into this draft, did you really need a quarterback? Did you? Or is that just what you wanted to believe? I'm talking to all you podcasters, all you local TV show hosts and podcasters and the national guys too. Is this what you want to convince yourself to believe was going to happen? Or is it really what the Bears thought they needed? See, that was the question the whole time, but I think it's becoming more and more clear now that exactly what we've been talking about for months on top of months here is that he was never the problem. They have an opportunity to stack this team now, to really stack it. And they're off to a good start. If they move that pick and get some and trade down and get I'm not even going to talk about the 1 to 2 and then the 2 and beyond. If we just get that one move, everything just opens up from there.
But but that's the thing is like if Washington if they kind of corner, because Caleb can corner the market and say, here's who I'm not taking a personal visit to the Giants. I'm not taking a personal visit to anybody but Washington. He has that right. And if that's the case, he kind of strong arms the Bears because the Bears don't want him. They're going to have to take whatever crappy package or, trade package, that Washington gives. That's the only bad part. Like I said, if you just get 3, you get the swap. So the number 2 pick, next year's first, which I think is the most important, and this year's second, back from the Montez Sweat deal. I'm happy. Just 1 to 2. And now we're cooking with gas.
Because the value is really going to come from that second pick and whoever comes up to come get their guy at number 2. That's where the real value is coming in at. And everybody's made this pick about a player. It's not about a player because it's about the pick. And it really comes down to who wants that pick and who's that team's guy. So let's just say that Atlanta decides to say, you know what? Not Atlanta, I'm sorry. Washington decides, you know what? We don't feel a need to have to, jockey for position for that number 1. Let somebody else come because maybe somebody else sees Jaden Daniels or Pickens or whoever as a number 1 pick and not necessarily have Caleb on their radar. It's about the pick and the value in the pick. And I truly believe, though, agreeing with Shawn, I believe that Washington wants to make that. It's important for Washington to get that number 1 pick because there is a dark cloud and stench over that organization that they are desperately trying to get rid of, and making this move to get Caleb Williams, to put him in a Commander's uniform, will help start that foundation and lift that cloud off of that organization. By doing so, that's great for that organization, but the true value for the Bears would come from being able to move down and trade that pick the second time around to get the additional picks to finish filling out their roster and adding depth. That's where the true value is at.
Because it'll give you 3 number 1s for next year. That's where that value is that you're talking about, Keith. You're going to get 3 number 1s for next year. That's how you build a team. Okay, this is chess, not checkers. Chess, not checkers.
So I'm going to double down on where you guys are, and I'm going to give the haters out there a little bit of love, right? So you have to give the kid the opportunity. I know where you're at. You know what I mean? I know where you are, but I'm just saying you have to give the kid the opportunity while you build this team. If that's what you're doing, you need to stockpile and make sure you have your insurance policy in place. With an insurance policy in place being those 3 number 1 picks or 2 additional number 1s in next year's draft, you can wheel and deal, grab a guy if there's a generational, quote unquote, generational talent next year. It doesn't have to be ultimately Caleb Williams, and that's been my issue with all of this the entire time. I have nothing negative to say about the kid. I think he's a fantastic talent. I also think Justin Fields is a fantastic talent. To be frank, I think they're sort of shades of the same guy, with the exception of a quicker release with Caleb and more athleticism with Justin Fields. That's the talent case scenario. Taking that off the table, it doesn't fix the team. If you have that insurance policy and Justin isn't able to grow this season, you can cash it in, get the top of the line free agent quarterback, or again, draft a quarterback by cashing in your insurance policy. That's the move, guys. It's not dump all of your capital into one human being and pray that he works out. That's not the move. Anyways, 2 cents from Kedz.
Man, there's hey, listen, man. I've watched people. I watch people on Twitter. I mean, the quiet on that MF right about now after this free agency period started, like your usuals, just making the Caleb. I mean the Justin and Atlanta Falcons jersey memes and pictures and stuff like that. Man, you can't find those people, man. You can't find them. I'm seriously worried about people's mental health right now. Now we've reached. I hear
bump them, Nomad. Bump them.
Man, I hear. I can't necessarily do that, but I'm hearing Cap is going off on his radio show right now talking about.
I need to call them and make him.
They're sending him to Vegas now. They just signed Minshew, man. There's nowhere else to turn, guys. There's nowhere else to turn. They're not going to release Justin. They're not going to cut him. I'm hearing that. So just the crazy. This is the crazy depths they've gone to, Shawn. Now we're going to cut him. Go ahead.
So I got a notification. This is awesome. This is awesome. I got a notification 14 minutes ago that said the Raiders are reportedly in talk with the Bears regarding Justin Fields trade. 2 minutes later, 12 minutes ago, the Raiders have agreed to terms with Gardner Minshew. and listen. So here's the thing. Once people knew that Justin Fields was off the market, that's when they went and got the quarterbacks. That's why quarterbacks are going like crazy. So when they give you the BS narrative, the market for Fields isn't it? No, there is no market for Fields because he's not on the block. Everybody went and got their guy. So for them to slander Justin Fields is unprofessional and straight bull jive.
All right, so let me move.
Do a little scratch and mix on that one, Shawn.
Yes, sir. I know where you're about to go, kid. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna hit up these super chats because we're seeing a whole lot of love. Let me also say 324 in the chat. Yo, thanks for representing with us, guys. Just insanity today. That's definitely chat record. So we're gonna touch on Knox Corbett. Knox, thanks for sending us $5. The most rational discussion about what the Bears will do. Appreciate it. Just subbed and subscribed. Trade the #1 pick. Draft MHJ. That's big news, Knox. We appreciate it. And from Doge Killer Don. I had to do I had to buy some Milady their Doge Killer. That's on some crypto stuff. So I made myself an extra couple of bucks this weekend. Anyhow, Doge Killer Don, when are you guys going to invite Adam Mason on the show?
You know what, Doge? There, kids, if you want to, just put it.
Boom.
There you go.
You know what, Doge? I think that's a brilliant idea. I've been following Mr. Mason over the last couple of weeks. I think he's doing some
Brian,
really awesome
Brian,
stuff.
You gotta leave it up there, Brian. You gotta leave it
And
up.
I think we're gonna do. I think we could do a really cool show. So let's, if Adam Mason by chance you follow us or you're listening, by all means reach out and we'll make something happen. Same token, next time I'm checking out one of your shows because the fans want it. I'll reach out and hopefully we can strike up some time to actually connect and maybe connect some of these dots.
Appreciate it, man. Those Killer Don. Respect, man. Respect.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. What generous people today, man. I knew we'd get some donations, but I didn't know the generosity would be so great. Wow.
That's crazy. It's not just generosity though. Just again, the sheer number of humanity, the sheer humanity in the chat today is impressive. Thanks to all you guys for tuning in and rocking with us today.
Yes.
We
Yes.
so appreciate you guys, man. But carry on, Brian. My fault. We just had to put these up there and highlight them. Did we miss any that we didn't highlight?
No, I got everything. Oh, yeah, I got everything covered except Doge Killer Dawn. Oh, that was $100, Doge Killer. I must have missed the total. I just wanted to throw that out there too. G Willikers, both you and Mitch Owen, tippy top no maniacs on the list besides Plank and Mark Kazak. You're right up there, bro. You guys are right up there. Trust me.
Look at Cliff Victoria. He's like, I was just talking to a Caleb cultist. Find that and he is not happy.
There's no place for Justin to go, and he's not going to go be a backup. They're not going to drop him. They're not going to cut him. So, like, what you guys are going to see over the next 48 hours?
There's always a place for him to go where he was always going to go.
No. You say when you say there's no place for him to go, it's intimating that he was going to leave.
Place for, I hear what you're saying. I'm
never going to happen.
He was never right.
I just want to hit on over the next 48 hours. Just look in the eyes of those other guys out there. You know, give them a good look in the face, because it's going to look a lot like they have egg on their face, or maybe some eggs dripping. So just keep your eyes on those other guys out there, because I've seen a whole lot of egg today, and I think those eggs will be cooking for the next little bit.
Let's pause right quick, because they got Leonard Floyd has been signed per, I think this is Barrelissimo. Am I correct?
Yeah,
Barrelissimo is saying that the 49ers signed Leonard Floyd.
Ooh, beautiful. So both of them are on the market still. I'm liking that.
What were we just saying, guys? Get excited now. It's getting
Here
a little
comes
bit closer.
Daniil.
Hunter
Daniil,
and Daniil Hunter was being pursued by, what did Chris say? What did you say, Chris?
Chicago and 49ers.
Niners and San Fran.
And they have made a choice. The 49ers have made a choice. And
yes,
so
they did.
We'll keep our fingers crossed right here, man. The possibility that we get Daniil Hunter is so exciting. I'm sweating again, even through my brand new sticker degree. And that's not good, man. I might have to change deodorant again.
Yeah, and that may be too much
Right.
Hey,
TMI, brother.
The walls of Jericho. The walls of Jericho in the house.
Hey, fellas, I'll be right back. Somebody's at the door. I'll be right back.
TMI, baby. TMI.
I'm gonna have to suggest Nomad switches that deodorant. That
brother,
degree,
yes, sir.
it's not doing anything for him.
over there funky.
Hey, you
guys
say what?
He over there funky.
Hey,
here's what's happening then. So it looks like you signed Daniil Hunter. That means every single pick, except maybe for like the later rounds, is offense in the draft. Which is why you want to get more picks, so you can get a couple of studs. Man, this is so you have a veteran championship defense, because ain't no rookies on there no more. Rookies on there no more. All right, Tyreek Stevenson, he went through the fire last year, came out on the other side. Okay, Jaquan Brisker, all right, he's a sophomore now. All right, you have Kyler Gordon. He's a sophomore. No, he's a junior now. Isn't he his third year, Kyler Gordon? Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be.
Yeah.
Him and
Brisker came in together.
Three. Yeah, so they're both third years. Obviously, Jalen Johnson. Okay, Tyreek Stevenson, we said. And then you got Kevin Byard in the back. Ain't no rookies over there. The linebackers, free agents. You know, Billings wasn't a free agent. I mean, wasn't a rookie. Man, we got this is a championship defense. They ready to roll. They ready to roll, baby. I like it. I like it a lot, man. For all my Dumb and Dumber fans, I like it a lot.
I like it a lot. Oh man, yeah. Hey, so coming into the show today, we had Catnip Keith just feeling it, and I was a little bit in my feelings about the whole Swift thing. I'm starting to feel like Catnip Keith right now. I'll just be honest with you. Right now, we're on the precipice of potentially a very large defensive end signing. If we get that edge rusher, just like I said a little while back, it's going to open up that center, and you're going to start to hear the name Jervon Dexter all season. That's all I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for Dexter and Billings to eat, just eat lunch out there. It's going to be a thing. So I'm hoping that happens. Now we know the Niners are out. The only guy to be worried about is the guy that Nomad just brought up, and that's Detroit. So, you know, Don, Brad Holmes's and Jameer Gibbs's in the chat. You know, I'm hoping y'all don't get that defensive end. That's what I gotta say.
Well,
look at this. Sweat, Bird, and Hunter are not quote unquote rookie quarterback moves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
You're right.
I may get off this podcast right now and call the score.
Oh no! Don't get off the podcast. Call them while you're on the podcast.
That'd be funny.
That makes for a good show. Actually, that makes for a good show.
No, don't do that, man.
Yeah, call them. Do it.
Oh man, honestly, a lot of folks to be eating some crow, man. A lot of crow to be eaten. A lot of crow, because once more, Dave Kaplan and I love, on the normal pretenses, I love me some Dave Kaplan. I think he's a fantastic, radio professional. But unfortunately, this whole chase greatness idea, it doesn't make sense. Why would you? Why burn your investment this season when you can re-up on your investment and then maybe burn it next season if you have to?
Chasing greatness,
we are chasing greatness.
Makes a great deal of sense. But in terms of NFL football, the greatness that you want to chase is a great team.
That's right. Great
I'm
52
chasing greatness, but I want dominance. I don't want the Bears to win a Super Bowl. I want the Bears to win multiple Super Bowls. I want the Bears to be dominant. I want dynasty. I'm greedy.
I want. You know what I want? You know what I want, Chris? I want Justin and Mahomes. Justin and Mahomes.
Justin v. Mahomes is what you're saying.
Justin against Mahomes. Yeah. Justin against Mahomes. Mahomes against Justin. That's what I'm talking about.
And to clarify, kids, Dave Kaplan is a radio personality. He is he is not a journalist.
I didn't call him a journalist.
No. I was just clarifying so folks in the chat would know. He is a radio personality. I don't think he's a journalist. He's just been a host. He hosts journalists sometimes, but he's a radio personality.
Yes, Vernon, call him Parkins.
Like I say, it just doesn't make sense. Greatness is to be chased, yes, but you don't have to burn your entire capital this season to do it. If it's all in this season, burn your capital, it makes for a problem next season. Making matters worse, you're just not going to fill the holes or have the blue chippers that you really want to have.
Kids, there's a such thing, and there's this universe, and we talked about this last night. And when I brought this up, I think everybody kind of is, everybody's in their own yard as far as what we should do with money and whether or not, Daniil Hunter is worth $28 million as his said market value is. And the reasoning for me saying that under the circumstances, under any other circumstances, I would agree with anybody that says he's not worth that amount of money. But under these circumstances, in order to maintain a competitive advantage, you have to make sure your top competitor, who won the NFC East, the NFC North, who won it? Detroit did. You want to give them another piece of weaponry to take you out again? You want to do that? No.
Okay, guys, let me say something here. We got the first curveball. Free agent kicker Will Lutz, who agreed to terms earlier in the day with Jacksonville, has changed his mind and is remaining in Denver.
So time out, Chris. Did you really just stop that?
I did.
Yeah, he did. Tell us about a kicker.
Well, listen, gentlemen. I did that to remind you that, and we found this out last year. Until Wednesday, none of this stuff is concrete. Now it is about a kicker, but it could be about anybody. So and it happened last year. We had, I forget who the player was. It was a big name player. Changed his mind before Wednesday. So I said that for a reason.
That man really just cut me off to tell me about a kicker.
Well, you weren't talking about nothing.
Man, there's no after the show. Chris he got it coming. He getting a big eye.
Damn.
Hey man, but what I was getting at was there is probable cause to make
No, man, hold on. Patrick Scales just re-signed to the Bears. I thought I would cut you off and tell you about more special teams.
Y'all gotta find a new host. I'm done with y'all. I'm out.
Nomad quit.
Man, y'all
Joke.
man.
We gotta have some fun, right? We gotta have some fun.
Jokes.
Hey, you guys in the chat, man, y'all doing a good job keeping us abreast of what's going on, because while we're doing the show, it's hard to do all that and me look at my phone and seeing what's going on in the chat and talking.
Brother, I got the big screen going right here in front of me too.
I appreciate it, man. But the guys in the chat and the ladies too are killing it out there, man. Making sure we staying abreast of everything that's going on out there. Appreciate you, Barry Lee Simone, and everybody else that's giving us information. But go ahead, man. What do you guys think about the reasoning? Do y'all think I'm nuts for thinking that we have to undercut for no other reason, undercut Detroit?
Like I think you're nuts.
Okay,
you think he's nuts? Go.
And here's why. Here's why. Don't get me wrong. I'd want to undercut Detroit, but if it's gonna cause you to come out of your, spend more, go beyond your budget, because I don't know what his budget is, and that's the thing. You know what I mean? Do you want to determine or devote that much resources into a defense? Maybe you do. Maybe you're willing to do that. And if you are, cool. But I think we have a team now. We had a defense that was pretty dominant last year. Okay. I think we got a defense that's going to be even more dominant this year. I think we have an offense that was now, with our new offensive coordinator, is going to be so much more efficient. I think we're much better as a team. Now, don't get me wrong. If they spend the 25, 28 mil for Danielle Hunter, I'll be doing the happy Hubbard. Okay. But because I don't think you need it. If you do it, okay. I don't think you need it. I still think you can beat Detroit. Okay, because we should have. We were leading. We beat them for one game and three quarters and 14
quarters. Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think you need it. If we want it, yeah, but I don't think you need it.
All right. So, Keith, by all means.
I think I understand where Nomad's going with this, because Nomad's looking at what we have to face in terms of. Well, the thing is, he's looking at okay, if Danielle Hunter lines up, let's say he does go to Detroit, he's lining up against Braxton Jones, and that's where Nomad's looking at like, oh man, we can't do that. But I also understand where Shawn's going, where okay, let's just say you don't throw that big of a bag, or you have your budget set. And I think the reason why Danielle Hunter is in play is because, and I'm going to be real short with this. Danielle Hunter's in play because there's two signings that we did between yesterday and today that allow him to be able to throw the bag at Danielle. Now, if he's asking way too much, then I understand why he would pivot and maybe go with an Epinesa. And we still, and the guy that we have on the roster now, he's a depth piece. But we got DeMarcus Walker. And it's a Band-Aid. It's not a Danielle Hunter. But then you can go and draft somebody to fill that spot and develop, just so that you can continue to address other needs on the team. So I understand where Shawn's going with it. I also understand Nomad wanting to go and be competitive and say, hey, look, we're willing to go after a guy like a Danielle Hunter. We're willing to throw that bag, and we want to get rid of that idea that we're cheap.
That news down there, Keith. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Justin Jones
just went to the. So we are going to end up getting a tackle.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna DP
for sure.
So what do you do then? Do you want to if you want to spend? Shawn, you want to spend on the D tackle and a D end in free agency? I'm okay if you do, if this is what you want, because that means we're ready to win right freaking now. I read an article from NBC Sports Chicago yesterday. It was Josh Rock, and he said he talked about all the signings and everything. It means the Bears want to win now, which means they want Caleb. I'm like, What? To win now, it means you want Caleb?
Because they think Caleb
hold on
is...
for a second. Hold on, time out. I think
Go ahead, brother.
This will give everybody clarity. It's not about whether or not I think it's the right move. I think here's what we're missing. I think we're not really respecting the danger. Respecting the danger of your biggest competitor. If you want to win the North, you have to respect that danger of them getting them. So just imagine what that looks like with Daniil Hunter and Aiden Hutchinson on two ends coming off and getting after this cat. Now we want to see this dude ascend and be able to win the North and do it in a real way. You're not respecting the danger if you don't get competitive against Detroit. You have to respect that. What they will do ultimately, I don't know. None of us know. But that's where my mind is, and that's where my energy is respecting the danger of what would happen if we didn't. And so,
well, I'm gonna agree. I kind of agree with both of you. Like I understand the defensive aspect of all this from a strategy perspective. It makes sense not to allow Detroit to gain access to a premier blue chip, defensive end. But I'm kind of, the business guy the business guy in me says, go and get your defensive tackle, go and get your defensive end, make it cost effective. This way you upgrade at both positions. I would not be angry at that. I think our defensive line, I think our defensive line really saw an upgrade last year, and I think that would also provide a pretty solid upgrade. Before I'm done talking here and I transfer off, Daniil Hunter signed Justin Jones, massive deal, crazy deal, $30 million, 19.5 guaranteed. We weren't going to pay him nothing like that.
Yeah, he deserved it. He deserved it. If he got it, he deserved it.
If he got it, crazy, but I wouldn't have gave him.
So, Kedz, since you threw that out there, between the two, Armstead or Daniil Hunter, which one? If you had to make a move,
two roles, man. They play two different roles.
No,
exactly.
I'm saying
he says so you're not getting
one or the other. I'm saying one or the other.
You go get.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
No, he just said he's staying. So maybe they reworked something. I don't know.
With Armstead?
That's what she just said. I don't know.
Who said that?
Yeah.
Who said that?
Lady by the name of Evie in the chat. Hello, Evie, and thank you for the.
It's actually Evie.
Like Chevy.
Like Chevy. Chevy Chase.
Sorry, Evie Bear Down Davis. We've been saying
and thank you for the information. Let's see if we can source that out, man.
Yeah, but how? And so how? Here's the question. We talked about, and I'm okay with. Yeah, Daniil Hunter was probably. Oh, Terrence Armstead? No, it's Eric Armstead. ARIK. Eric Armstead is the guy that from San Francisco who was just released by them. Are you okay? Because how big of a jump or improvement do you expect from Braxton Jones? Okay, because from 2 years ago to last year, that was a noticeable difference. He couldn't stop a bull rush to save his life. Last year, he's able to anchor better. Not a phenomenal left tackle, but better, noticeably better. How much more will another offseason in the weight room help him? Like I personally, my ceiling for him, for Braxton Jones, is an above average left tackle. That's I think is as good as he's going to get, which is good. It's very good. I'm not putting him in camp. I'm not putting him in the Pro Bowl. I'm not putting him in. Is that enough? Is he going to get to that level this year? It's his third year now. He's faced Daniil Hunter 4 times.
That neck injury did hinder him this past season, though. He dealt with that neck injury, and he just toughed it out the entire season.
Well, Braxton Jones, man, I can't. I'm not gonna poo-poo nobody's evaluation or how you estimate Braxton Jones' talent. All I can tell you is I was at from day one. The minute we got him, I started studying him, and I've been studying him. And you know what? It's the certain things that you can't run from about Braxton Jones. Certain things about Braxton Jones are very, very good. I mean, for a guy in his second year now?
Third,
in his second year.
He's going into his third.
Bro, I'm sorry to interrupt, but J2K, man, Adam Schefter is saying the Bears have yet to shop Justin Fields. Brian, what the heck, Brian?
Just go pull it back up, kids. Let's go pull it back up. Brian,
I'll find it. I'll find it.
Man, just kind of be cool.
Damn it, Brian. In any event, J2K, thank you for that. Long story short, if it's coming out of the mouth of Schefter, Rappaport, or maybe Tom Pelissero, it's pretty close to being facts of the matter. Hey, man, if they never stop Justin, that goes right. I think Schefter just proved the SuperBack right today. Did Schefter just prove you right, Sean? I think he just proved you right.
I don't need him to prove me right. I know I'm right on this one.
Okay.
All
I
righty
love
then. That's that New Yorker, that partial New Yorker in Shawn.
No, it just made too much sense, man. That's all. It's just, because they've all said, because he's talked about, where's Justin, he's made the comment, where's Justin Fields going, or the market for Justin Fields. He's made that comment. So that's why I don't even trust him. I don't trust him at all. And because you know what? He's being told what to say. Personally, don't get me started. Kedz, you know how I'm a big conspiracy theorist.
I'm right. I'm right there with you.
We had that 2-hour conversation after the show the other day, bro.
I'm right there with you. So,
well, Sean,
I'm not a media guy.
I mentioned that same point last night that he had never been on the market. They would have tried, they could have gotten rid of him if they'd wanted to when there was a fever pitch for him.
You could, exactly, Chris.
And there was never a market for him. They just had to make it appear.
Just because you take calls for him doesn't mean he's on the market.
Exactly. You have to make it appear as though that there's a possibility that you're going to move on for him in order to make the number one pick more appealing.
Bingo.
Hey, man, listen. Let me tell you something. I think when the smoke clears, we're going to find out some things that we weren't readily willing to accept during this. Some of us. Not all of us, but some of us are going to find out some things that we weren't willing to even open the ears to listen to. The idea that Schefter is saying, it's still a report, but, he owed nobody anything to actually put that out there. Where does he get that from? Number one, why would he say that at this very moment? What would he get for that? What does he get out of saying that he was never on the market?
I don't trust him, Nomad. He works for a big corporation. I don't trust him.
I don't blame you, but it's all I'm trying to do is you just got to add up the pieces, man. You just got to put the pieces where they belong. You got a puzzle. You got pieces that belong, and then there are pieces that don't belong. And then you try to put pieces where they don't belong. You never put that puzzle together. That's what we're trying to do over here at this network and Sports Zone Chicago. Just trying to put the pieces together for you. How accurate we are after we try to put the pieces together for you, we're finding out right now. And I think we're closer to a finished puzzle than a lot of other people out there, and I feel good about that. And I'm not going to get on here and brag and say we better than everybody. I'm not doing that. What I'm saying is when you just use sound logic and use the detail in your logic to put together a picture of what you see is going on behind the scenes, because we cannot talk to Ryan Poles. We cannot talk to Matt Eberflus. We can't talk to Kevin Warren. We can't talk to Justin right now. But what we can do is put pieces where they belong. And when they start adding up and you start to see the picture develop, then the picture is what it is, right? And so there's no use in trying to deny that it exists. What do you get out of that? The truth is, it looks more like Justin Fields is a bear than any other thing that I've ever seen. The final couple of pieces are still out there, but the picture seems pretty, I see the clarity in it. I don't know about everybody else, but it seems pretty clear to me.
Cue up, I can see clearly now.
I love Evie Davis. I love her comment. I love Evie Beardown's comment that she loves the salty taste of the Caleb Coles tears.
The tears of the Caleb Coles
are so delicious. They're so delicious. Yummy.
Evie, we love you, man. Thanks for representing.
I might have to put that on a special mug and put that out there.
Notorious TBG. I had no idea you are a girl. Or you're a woman. I'm so hyped that you're a woman, to be honest. And it has everything to do with the way that you handle those special cases like Leonidas in the chat, right? Like you do a great job out there. So Notorious, big shout outs to you, man. Trust me. I had no clue. You get him, Notorious. Oh man, what a fantastic little situation. At the end of the day, it sounded a heck of a lot like a certain somebody might be staying. Sounding a heck of a lot like a whole bunch of other somebodies put their foot in their mouth. And I hope they enjoy the taste of leather and rubber, because that's
I had that's
what lunch is looking like.
I had Frank Schwab from Yahoo Sports on my show today, and so I said, look, dog, I'm like, Frank's a good dude, man. He's been rocking with me at Sports Zone Chicago for years, and he's on that same. They're going to draft Caleb, and I said, bro, cool. I said, here's what happens if they trade Justin. All right, I will send you a Sports Zone Chicago pullover. Okay. When they trade that pick, you gotta send me something from Yahoo. Give me some Yahoo. He's like, I got some swag. I'm like, bet. So we had a nice little wager on the air today.
So we
Will
at the beginning
Dissly to the Chargers. Tight end Will Dissly from Seattle has signed with the Chargers.
And you interrupted me with BS again, man. You getting
Man,
No, that's the tight end signing. It's better than he doesn't kick football.
Come on, man. Hey, you're right. We're here to get a new host, man. Shut up.
Jado Choke says, "Do you guys take questions?" Yeah, put the questions in the chat, Jado Choke.
So and we started this, man. And Keith and Kedz, you guys, Keith, I think Keith I probably got on his scent trail just because of it. I believe Keith will tell me if I'm wrong or not. But I went and I let it be known on Twitter, and I let it be known on live on these podcasts that we going on a crusade on the Nomad Network. If Justin Fields ever felt like there wasn't support out here for him, he'd think differently. If the media ever thought that there was going to be a narrative that they were going to be able to push and it wouldn't be a counterbalance to it, a counter narrative to it, they've been sadly mistaken. But guess what? Everybody in the chat, I want you to know that keep supporting this network, and everybody within the sound of my voice, I want you to know we won. We have won, not completely. The game's not completely over, but we right there at the fourth quarter with like 5 seconds left, and we got the ball. And so all the people that were counting on this narrative to run Justin Fields out of town, I'm glad to say that I did, and the rest of the guys on this network did what we came here to do, was to give that narrative a counterbalance. And they got frustrated with it. I saw a little clip of Adam Hogue the other day. He's absolutely flustered by the fact that they couldn't run home with this narrative and just be the winner of this whole race. I know that Justin Fields is watching some of this stuff. If not, somebody that cares for him and is close to him is watching this stuff, and they can hear it, whether you think they do or not. So I want you people to know in this chat, all the people that support the Nomad Network and Sports Zone Chicago, there was always people in his corner.
And not to be honest and to be clear with everything, it has nothing to do with us being against Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is talented. Yes. I heard somebody say yesterday in the chat that he might be the fourth best quarterback in the draft. That's ridiculous. But my point has always been, I don't want to draft Caleb because we don't need a quarterback. We need better coaching. We need better pieces. That has always been my mantra. It has nothing to do with being against Caleb. If Caleb somehow ends up in a Chicago Bears uniform, believe me, he will be my second favorite number 13 of all time, next to Will Chamberlain, of course.
Well, Vizojo sent in a super chat, $5 super chat. Thanks, Vizojo. He says, if y'all are right on field,
just put it up for him.
Boom. He says, if y'all are right on fields, I give y'all your props. I want Caleb, but respect y'all. And respect right back at you, Vizojo. At the end of the day, everybody's got their own take on the situation. Once more, just as Chris was saying, I believe Caleb Williams is a very talented quarterback, and I think he might potentially wind up being an upgrade for the Bears at that position. That's me. That's coming out of my mouth. Same token, I also believe that sticking with Justin Fields is the best thing for the team. So that's where my that's where I am.
Yeah, you don't make these moves. You don't drop all this money in free agency where that, like, I forgot who it was said. That's not a keep a rookie quarterback move. It's not. It's not. You're ready to win now. And if it takes him, you ain't paying these dudes 20, 25, 28, $30 million if we get to that point, okay, to have them develop, have a quarterback develop.
Hold on. Vizojo, let me just give an extra little shout out to Vizojo. Why? Thank you for the super chat, but also how he presented how he feels and did that in a way. I'm going to read it here in a second. He did that in a way that's absolutely respectful of everybody else's way of thinking. So I respect that. I'm gonna say it again. If y'all are right on Fields, I give y'all your props. I want Caleb, but respect to y'all, man. Extra respect to you, Vizojo. That's the way to do it, man. You know, because if I was at a disagreement with you, that's exactly the way I would put it. That's exactly what I would do. So respect to you for that.
Keith almost busted a seam there over something, man. You got some breaking.
Go ahead,
Keith. What's up, Keith?
You better have
two things, just really quick. I know we had talked about earlier but last week about certain free agents where they just the coach went ahead and agreed to an extension with Michael Pittman Jr. So he is definitely off the market.
So he's off the market as well. Okay.
Yeah. So they done that. And then on another note, with regard to what Nomad has said, yes, that's exactly what drew me to you guys, man. I mean, I was taking a lot of bullets on Twitter, man, but I was standing my own, and I was shooting as a marksman myself because I was, beating the drum for Justin. But at the same time, I never at any point ever put down Caleb. I believe that Caleb is going to be very good. And I want him to be successful.
Hold on, I'm gonna let you finish that thought, but just go ahead and touch that right quick.
Oh, Espinosa is staying with the Bills. Sounds like there may have been a deal there. Let me double back and take a peek.
But go ahead, Keith. I ain't mean to interrupt.
So I say all that is to say, for this is, I want to see every young man that has an opportunity to be drafted to be successful, first and foremost, especially Caleb Williams, because this kid is coming. He's going to be entering the league under so much scrutiny, whether he comes to Chicago or wherever he lands, So with that being said, I hope the young man does extremely well. I just believe in the quarterback that we have in our jersey right now. And because of that, I'm going to support this young man. And yeah, if that means I got to put on the armor or put on the vest and more or less act as that bodyguard for him, then so be it. Because I think the young man has earned his opportunity to at least have a chance to be coached by these new coaches. Why would he be the whipping board and then shipped off for allowing somebody else to come in?
What Knox Corbett said. He just hit it out the park. Go ahead and read that, Keith.
Wanting JF1 to stay is more about building the Bears with more picks and not about hating on Caleb Williams.
Is that about?
At least that's what
Knox Corbett. Right on. That's it right there. That's it.
That's the most succinct way. That's the most succinct way you could put it, Knox. And you know what? It'll all be over March 20th.
Thank you.
Because once the Bears get his medicals, okay? Once they get his medicals, they can say now the number one pick is up for deal. Because why? We feel comfortable with our assessment. Because you remember, you can't give his medicals away. You can't intimate anything. We feel comfortable with our assessment that we can put this number one pick, overall pick, on the market. And that'll tell everybody else that his medicals were okay. Without them actually doing it.
Yeah. So we got 9 days.
I appreciate that, man. And I knew that. I felt like that was the reason I got on Keith Scent Trail, man, because when I was telling the guys before this even started, man, they're gonna really, try to run JF out of town, and they're gonna try to and if Poles doesn't do it, Chris has been saying this over and over again, but I was telling them, I was like, man, they're gonna come after Poles like it ain't nobody's business. Why? Is because most of the guys in the media are privileged. They feel entitled.
Yep.
And they feel like it's their obligation if they don't get what they want to do that thing. And that thing would be to try to crucify this guy, try to put him in effigy if they can. you know, and I know for a fact if they don't trade Justin, that's absolutely what's going to happen. But they, like I told you at the beginning of this thing with Justin Fields getting pushed out of town, we ain't going to let them get away with it. So just keep supporting us. And
well, our
you know what
favorite
they're doing?
personality has already laid the groundwork for that.
Who's that now?
Cap said a couple of weeks ago, if he doesn't take Calvin Williams, he should be fired. So if that actually happens, we know what the answer is going to be.
Look at what Barry.
But here's the thing. Here's the exact thing. Okay, is that you just made me lose my thought. You know I played football a long time. You guys eat shit.
Let's go ahead and read what he said, man.
Live from CTESPN, Sean. Is that
Yeah, Ian Rappaport said the Bears have to shop Fields as they aren't fully comfortable with Williams. But weren't they talking about where are you sending Justin? Where are you going to send Justin? Where are you going to send Justin? Where are you going to send Justin? Justin here. The market for Justin is this. The market for Justin is that. The market for Justin is cold. The market for Justin.
Nobody knew. Nobody's ever known. They didn't get it from polls. They didn't get it from Warren. They didn't get it from Cunningham unless it came from those sources. Unless those are your sources, I don't want to hear it.
Wow. Now
let me just touch on that.
I know what I was going to say. I know what I was going to say.
Well, here we go. Brain farts over.
Breaking news: Brian Urlacher just retired.
He's been retired and already in the Hall of Fame. So, did you make me forget again, you son of a biscuit? See, thanks, Chris.
I'm sorry.
It worked too.
You damn sure did, dude. Chris, oh worry, I'll get it before we get off this.
Oh man, we need some of that. We need some of that Jeopardy music.
Yeah.
So,
and I got a pen, so when I do get it, I'm gonna write it on there, so you don't
get a notepad, Sean. So outside of all that, somebody I didn't know who it was, but somebody in the chat also mentioned that the general media. The Biggs, Hogue, Johns, Cap, you name it. Nobody was in on the DeAndre Swift move either. So I'm just sort of pointing out.
So much for the insiders, right?
You know what I mean? The insiders, everybody's got a source and knows this, that, and the third. I'm not so sure anybody has any kind of sources right now with this new regime. I have a feeling that just about any of those older external or internal sources that existed have probably been flushed out of the Bears organization, which allowed them to keep this whole offseason for the most part hush hush. So I expect more hush hush. I also expect Justin Fields to be a Chicago Bear in the next couple of weeks.
They also missed the Kevin Byard.
Oh, that's right. They missed him too, didn't they?
Again, I keep saying the insiders. What they're not saying is anybody that was a part of the organization in the past that would leak information is no longer part of the organization. And that's why I said yesterday, Poles is running like a real G. All right. He's insulated himself and basically told anybody, if I find out anything has been leaked, you're out of here. It's just that simple.
I got it.
Let him go.
You got it now.
Sean.
Yes.
Get it, Sean.
You can talk.
Nobody's saying anything or he'll forget.
No, I got it written down.
It's yours, brother. It's yours, brother. Go ahead.
It's written down. It's written down. It's written down. Okay. Oh, I can't read my writing. No, I'm kidding. So here's what they're doing. Here's what they're going to do. Okay. It started the other day. Okay, with Schefter. There are people in the building who still want Justin Fields. And then names came out. It came out. Warren wants Justin Fields, and everybody else in the building wanted to trade him. Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
That's where they're going to. So now they're taking their thing off of Ryan Poles. Say, oh, well, you wanted to do what was right. You wanted to do what was right because they got to deal with Ryan Poles more than they deal with Kevin Warren. But that's where they're going to put their vitriol and their attacks at Kevin Warren. Now it's going to be at Kevin Warren. Oh, what are you doing? Just go get us a stadium. All right. Well, he's like, I just did. I just got to stay in the city. Now I can focus back on player decisions.
We touched on that last night too, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's divisiveness in the front office.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. That Poles wanted him and Ryan Poles. I mean, Warren wanted him and Ryan Poles wanted to trade him. I'm like, no, because he's got the final say. So I'm telling you, man, I'm gonna call it tomorrow. I'm gonna be on the score all day. gonna call Lawrence. I don't know if he's still in town. I'm calling that show. I'm gonna call those dudes. I'm like, okay, Parkins and Spiegel. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. What are you doing? He might take a day off. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
Oh,
He's curled up in
And
the
as
ball.
per the chat, Danny Parkin should take that jersey and use it to wash cars moving forward. And I think that is a fantastic
He should
suggestion.
use it to do something else, but I'm gonna be nice.
Yes, we're
and
trying
not
to be
say what I want to say on
PG.
the show. Yes, because
There
he should really wipe. He
Yes,
should
there are
wipe
other
something
things he
else.
could wipe.
But anyway,
Yes.
And take
Yes.
his neck and give it back to that ostrich, man. Do that.
I'm fired up, man. I'm fired up. And when I told my guys, somebody said something in CrossFit today, and I was like, you know what? And I just put this on the board. I'm like, just tell them this: GFY. That's all you got to tell.
Yeah.
That's all. That's it. Some people didn't know what that
So-
meant. I'm like, well, okay, you can figure it out.
Good for you.
Hey, Vernon said call Jay Hood, man.
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah. Because him and Cap, dude, Cap, take that. Hashtag take that.
I want
Well,
to
wait
call
till
Cap
this.
myself.
Wait till you see the swag I got coming out, baby. Wait till you see the Sports Zone swag. It's going. I'm
Zeroing in.
Yes. You know what?
So
Yeah, I'm gonna be Petty Ricky, what they call him. Petty Ricky's what they call him.
Petty Ricky. So here's anyways, just some of the thoughts that we were having behind the scenes.
What's that?
Who did?
Maurice Hurst resigning with Cleveland, 3.2.
So the only thing it'll be it's not going to be official till March 20th. Okay, after March 20th is when we should start waiting, because that's when Caleb Williams comes to Chicago for his visit, and after they get the meds, that's when I expect that number one pick to go on the block, because that's when other teams will want the number one pick.
Hold on, Sean.
To come after him.
We got one. Jose Sanchez. What up, Puerto Rico? Put that back
up.
Brian, if you don't mind putting that back up, man. Brian.
Boricua.
Can you find that, kids? It said
Who was it, Jose?
Yeah.
Jose Sanchez? Boom.
Per Rappaport, Zadarius Smith is re-signing with the Browns, 2 years, $23.5 million. That's a good pickup, because they did right by not letting him get out of there. Because I think it was a little bit of quarterback play away from actually pushing for it, man, really. And so hopefully they'll get a better Deshaun Jackson than they got this year. And I think they're strong enough to make a push. But thank you for that, Jose.
Harochoke, you can ask a question. Just put it in the chat. Just type the question and we'll put it up on the screen.
Who?
Yada's pissed. Is it okay? It's okay. Justin just have to be at least an average quarterback.
Honestly, there's a lot of crow to be eaten, guys, and it's fine. It's only one meal. Eat the crow and accept it and move forward, right? But at the end of the day, that's exactly how I see it. He
tried hard.
He should only have to be an average quarterback. If he can be better than that,
average quarterback is one term. But listen, how many of us, including people in the media, have used the words rare talent with Justin Fields?
Everybody.
So I asked everybody, what do you do with rare talent? Do you trade it or do you coach it?
Well, let me jump on this question right quick, because I think how would you say that?
Harochoke.
Okay, he asked, why do you all think that we need a running back when we have Herbert Johnson? ? If it is about the running back in the passing game, we do not believe Herbert can be developed in the passing game. Here's the thing about the running back and why I said it. I let everybody else speak for themselves. I think we have a couple of pretty good running backs, but they are one-cut downhill runners. They're not really laterally agile. What I mean by that,
shaky.
Swift. You got to be a jitterbug, and sometimes there are plays there, and they can't cut out of the hole that they're running in to get to the open lane. And so having a running back of DeAndre Swift's capability gives us that. He's gonna start, but those two guys will play too. But we definitely were missing that. I don't know how many times I've seen those two guys run into the backs of offensive linemen because they didn't see the secondary hole open up. You got a guy with some pretty good vision, pretty good ball catcher out of the backfield that can make some plays for you when you need those checkdowns. When Justin is checking that ball down when he doesn't see anything down the field. You feel good dumping that ball off to a guy like that. That's absolutely dynamic and open field with everything I just described to you. Just his lateral ability and be able to make the first person miss is exceptional, man. So I think you should be happy about that, man.
Swift has great vision. He's very patient. He knows how to set up his blocks, and when necessary, he can get skinny coming through the hole, and he can go. He's laterally. He's great as well, and he also has that burst, man. And we need that. We just need that type of back in our offense. Just that simple. But I think he's a great complement to what we already have in the running back room.
You can never have too many great talented players. He's a talented player, and he's a different type of running back. Okay, he's got that jitterbug with him. He can jump cut, he can hop back. It's a problem for defenses. Okay, when you get pounded over the head, when you get guys coming downhill, like a Roshan Johnson. Okay, Khalil Herbert, same way. He's a one-cut runner, but when he cuts, he explodes. All right, and he doesn't make a lot of people miss. He'll just run you over. He'll put his shoulder in you and go and fall forward 2 or 3 or 4 yards. And then you get another guy who can stop, whoop, and take it to the house. Stop, turn, go the opposite way, and take it to the house. When you've been getting beat up physically, when you're losing the game of attrition, you're losing by attrition. You're just getting worn the freak out. And all of a sudden you got this guy who comes and whoop, stops on a dime, and you're gone, and he goes 80. That's what he brings. Yeah, King Booker World. Yes, exactly. He's a home run waiting to happen. Too bad we don't have a quarterback who's a home. Oh, we do have a quarterback who's a home run waiting to happen as well. Bingo. Those two in the back are crazy.
RPO situation is going to be out. You got to respect. DeAndre Swift is going to bring another level of respect, especially for the linebackers.
He would put fear. Yeah.
Yeah, you put him in the conflict when you're in that RPO situation, when in that mesh situation where he's got the ball in the running back's belly, and with the opportunity for him to pull it out and do something himself, you got to respect both of them, and that immediately puts linebackers into conflict. And that's exactly what you want, whether it's a linebacker, slot corner, a safety that's roaming up in the box. You create that conflict in that mesh situation, and in the play action as well. So they'll be doing a combination of both those things. But man, I think he might, that same person that I just said that question for, he might be still talking about how do we think about DeAndre Swift and pass pro. I think he's I still got work to do. I'm gonna go back and look at his tape some more, but I've not heard anybody say that he's a liability in pass pro. I'll be able to tell you a whole lot more tomorrow once I take a real good look at the tape. But you got to just take the there's a yin and a yang whenever you get a player of his caliber. He's smaller, he's not very big, and when in pass pro, you just got to try to avoid putting him in situations where he's got to take on really big people because he's going to get ran over. But you can offer him some help as well. But I wouldn't worry about that too much. I like the way Shane Waldron schemes up in the pass protection. Mm-hmm. He doesn't really leave the running backs out there on islands very much. It's a lot of tight ends that move in the backfield to help out. And so I like that just looking at Shane Waldron's game tape.
Yep. It's going to be great, man. Shane Waldron, he's got to be happy as a pig and slobber. He's dancing like a giddy little schoolgirl right now. Whoa. He's got to be happy with this whole situation, because obviously he knows what the situation is, what they're doing, where they're planning on going. And you get a DeAndre Swift to add to that particular. Click and drag my picture over there. Click and there you go. He's got to be extremely, extremely excited. So he's got these power backs, and Khalil Herbert can take it. I'd say about a 50-yard and in. He's a guy who could take it to the house. I don't think he's 80. Okay, but 50 yards and in, he can take it to the house. But I think DeAndre Swift, that joker, he could take that sucker from 80. So you got his lateral movement. You got guys he's good in the pass game. I know I give him a lot of static about dropping that wide open touchdown pass against the Bears, but that was when he was with Detroit because Detroit would Detroit themselves back then. All right, but you get a guy like that, you put him in space. You put him against a linebacker, or you put him against a safety coming out of the backfield. You got a mismatch because his stop and go ability is second to none. And that's the thing, especially if you're a safety here coming or a linebacker, is you're worried. And let me tell you, Nomad will tell you, he played defense. I'll tell you, because I was a defensive coordinator. When you get a fast guy or a shifty guy, you can't go at him 100 miles an hour.
Hell no.
You can't go at him 100 miles an hour because you will look stupid, tripping over, falling, or he's going the other way. And you got to break down. And you know what? The NFL, they don't like to do that. They don't like to break down. So you got to trust me. He's going to make a lot of people miss. He's going to have a lot of broken ankles. And what he's going to do, he's going to freeze people. They're going to slow down. He's going to give him a little eyebrow fake, like Stacey King likes to say, a little whip, little head fake. They're going to stand there, and he's going to keep going right by him. The lateral movement, the stop and go ability of this guy is – we saw it with Tariq Cohen. We saw it with Tariq Cohen before he blew out his knee or Achilles or whatever he blew out. No, his knee, and then he tore his Achilles after. All right? You saw what that can do. We've seen the Darren Sproles of the NFL. We've seen him. Now we're going to have one. And he's not 185 pounds. Okay? He's not. He's 210.
I just love the
I love it when a plan comes together, Nomad.
It's the dynamic that he brings to the offense that we did not have last year. He is an absolute different dynamic that we did not have. He's everything that we drafted Tristan Ebner to be.
Yes.
And there you go.
We've had guys coming in here like what's the little guy's name? He was pretty good too, and I liked him. Darrington Evans and guys like that have come in to try to play that role. Now I think they want to attack with pure speed as a starting lineup with Justin, DeAndre Swift. You got DJ on the outside and whoever else they're going to bring in through the draft. However they're going to construct this team, I think they want to be explosive. And I think they said that at the very beginning. We want to be fast. We want to be explosive. You got to remember too, man, Justin and that crew were averaging about 30 points a game. You know, with the lesser roster, 24 to 30 points a game, I believe.
There was a 5-game stretch where they hit 30, they averaged 30.
And I think people conveniently leave that out, man. When we're talking about whether Justin Fields is a guy or not, Justin Fields is largely responsible for a lot of those points. Him on the ground, him throwing it. I mean, it's when you think about stuff like that and you just listen to people talking about this shiny new toy, it's just, I don't think they logically. I think it's more about, I don't know, man. It's like a kid in a grocery store. In a toy store. You got a lot of stuff at home that you haven't even played with, but you see this shiny new thing and you gotta have it.
Mommy.
You don't get it. You want to be flopping around on the floor like a fish, man. But guys, you gotta. I mean, if it's about winning, you have to see the gains that they made. And go ahead, kids. I see that super chat right there. I'll let you go ahead and do that.
MJ Kinney, thanks for representing with us. Please be sure you like, share, and subscribe. One more again, 300 plus in the chat right now. Super impressed by you, No Maniacs, and the way that you're representing and rocking and rolling with us today. MJ Kinney, you guys and Swift and Mason are the 3 best podcasts out right now. Hey, I wish I could argue with that, but what I will say is, I'll let you into a little bit of the backstage conversation me and these homies were having maybe a day or so ago. And I hope for the 2024 season that Justin Fields at the first presser sits down with a paper bag in front of him, paper bag on it. They know exactly where I'm going. I hope he brings a paper bag with him and puts it on the desk. And as he's asked the first question, he reaches into the paper bag and he pulls out a receipt. And the receipt says, Brad Biggs, here's your receipt. I won't be taking any questions from you. Next. And then the next question comes. Adam Hope, I have a receipt for you. I won't be taking any CHGO stuff today. Shawn Sierra, I gave you a hard time last year.
Don't forget
we'll be taking all your questions today, Shawn. What's on your mind, Shawn? What's on your mind? Right,
hey,
this is
I'm gonna tell you, bro. There's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna.
He should say, matter of fact, all y'all might as well get the hell out of here. I'm just
Yeah, just leave it. It's gonna be an exclusive. Me and
you
Sean.
heard. The rest of y'all get the hell out.
Hey, oh, Herb Howard can come too.
Bro, there's gonna be. I'm telling you what. There's gonna be a lot of people looking at me crazy in that press box next year, boy. A lot of people looking at me crazy because they know. Because I already got a problem with some people. You mentioned it perfect. Their entitlement. Okay, the fact that they think that people should kowtow and they're special because they're doing that. No, all right. When you don't, in the thing that I talked about when I broke, like you got to listen to football people.
Hey,
right?
let me interrupt you, Sean.
Yes, sir.
Real quick. The Lions have agreed to terms with Marcus Davenport on a 1-year deal.
So they are off the market.
That's a good move for them.
Marcus Davenport.
No, not. Marcus Davenport has been a huge disappointment. Stays injured and is never.
No,
yeah, he has. Yeah,
Chris,
he has.
Chris,
You're wrong.
I'm not arguing that.
I know.
That's the defensive end that they want. They wanted to sign a defensive end.
Yeah, I know, but that's not a good move for them. But good
I
for
ain't here
us.
to argue about that, Chris. I'm just saying.
You have no argument. I'm right.
Oh, goddamn.
Hey, Knox. No. We trust me, Knox. Justin's too classy. No, we know he's too classy. No, we know that. We believe you me. We know that Justin's definitely not going to do that. He was raised right. You know what I mean? He was raised right. He doesn't have that jag bag in him like that. We know damn well he's not going to do that. We're hoping and praying that he does. We know he's not going to because he's class personified. He is class personified.
What Sean is really saying is I'm a jag bag and I have no class.
when necessary, when the situation arises, yes. So I'm from the South Side, baby. Just because I went to Holy Cross and got an education, a really good one. I'm straight South Side. Don't get it twisted. We can go either way you want. We can handle it any way you want. Educated or South Side, one or the other.
Or South Side.
So I'm gonna reach out here and say this. And this is just me guessing what might be going on behind the scenes.
Look at Mike.
So I need to drop
off the bag of receipts for him. That's a great idea.
Hey man, hey look, what I can guess is going on behind the scenes is if I had to guess, somebody's winning that battle to see that bidding war who can get Danielle Hunter.
Yeah,
Danielle Hunter winning war.
Teams that were largely rumored to be in the hunt for that guy have signed defensive ends now, and so that would be Frisco signing Leonard Floyd, and also Detroit now who's got Marcus Davenport. And so, I wasn't trying to argue with Chris about his production, none whatsoever. I was trying to get to the fact that he's right. The fact that they've signed someone and now their need for defensive end has been met. So that tells me that somebody is winning the battle or the negotiation period to get Danielle Hunter. Is it the Bears? I don't know. Who else could be out there with the kind of capital that we have to actually be making that move? I don't know. Because I know the Commanders just signed a defensive end too.
The Colts.
They just signed a defensive end too. So I was getting ready to say them, and yeah,
Jonathan Grenard.
No, the coach did too.
Oh, the Colts signed one.
I don't know.
Who did the Colts sign?
I don't know. You just said
I don't know, but no matter the reason why I said that,
I saw something come up on the screen. I have to go back and source it, but
I was in agreement with Greg Gabriel. Marcus Davenport, and I was high on him coming out of college. 6th season, he has 23.5 sacks, and he has a history of injury problems too. So, but Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn do have a history with him, so that's probably where they were comfortable with.
I think people get Marcus Davenport a little bit misunderstood because he's not really known as like a pass rush specialist. He's not. He's a really good edge setter is what he does, and teams that really value stopping the run game, they value a guy like Marcus Davenport at the edge. He's almost as forceful as Montez Sweat is against the run. You know how good he is against the run. Marcus Davenport has that same kind of ability. And so, maybe Detroit has in mind that they feel good about Aiden Hutchinson coming off the other side and this dude crushing the edge from the other side and him getting a chance to kind of close that hole and get the defensive tackles pushing upwards because they do have a Lee McNeil who's really ascending as a player. And so I like the move for Detroit. It's going to make them better for sure. But that pass rush specialist, I guess they felt good with having one because Davenport isn't necessarily known for that.
You know what? Someone should tag certain people with that Adam Schefter. You know what? I think I'm going to do it on my Twitter account. I'm going to tag a whole bunch of people when Adam Schefter said the Bears have not begun to the offering of Justin Fields, because some people are like, oh, that's a fact. It's a fact. And you know what? The people at that 4-letter network, the big one and the small one, both the small one, the dude was like, oh, that's a fact. The Bears are trading Justin Fields. That's just reality. Okay, just reality. Sit your goofy ass down because you don't know jack spit about what's going on. Okay, sit down. This is why you don't deal with people who don't know football. You need intellectual people, not just, oh, well, I've covered football and I do this, dude. This is. I'm telling you, I'm going to be a jag bag, all right, because the disrespect you've shown Justin Fields. If you're a Bear fan, you're just going to go on a whole different way. You know, you could have just said, hey, you know what? I respect Justin Fields. He's got some things to work on, but I want Caleb. I want to take a chance on Caleb. That's respectful, cool. But you're a Bears fan. You're going to be talking all this nonsense about this dude. Clown, you're a clown. He's a clown. You're a clown. You're a clown. You're Petty Ricky's what they call him. You're damn right, DJ Breeze. Petty Ricky, what they call him.
But Sean, you know they're going to try to walk. You know they're going to try to walk it back. You know they're going to try to walk it back and say, well, I always say that in polls I trust, whatever he decided to do. But we all know the real truth behind it.
You trusted him as long as it went with your narrative. That's how they trusted him.
Absolutely. Well, you know, that was all under their breath. That's why, man, I'm hell bent on making sure, man, I get tickets for the upcoming training camp, because I'm going to have my son make me some special T-shirts, bro. And I'm purposely going to be walking around and antagonizing them myself. And I'm going to look for them because I want to have a conversation. Of course, I'm going to be nice and kind, you know, but I'm going to make sure that I get in their face with the T-shirt and what I'm going to have on each T-shirt, bro. Oh, trust me, it ain't going
Jose Sanchez. I will add Alex Brown to that.
Nice at all.
We don't get stolen on now. We don't try.
And that's the West Side in me, baby.
All right, man. How about this, man? Because we hung around in here for 2 hours. We did a whole extra hour for you guys to give you content, trying to break this news for you guys. I would say this. How about we take, hopefully nothing will happen for the rest of the day, and if it does, something big happens, I will ask guys.
Hopefully it does, bro. We need it to happen tonight.
We'll see. How about this? Let's go around starting with Keith.
And give must be off work today.
Let's go around starting with Keith and give some pleasantries before we get out of here.
Hey, I want to say thank you to all the No Maniacs and our Chicago sports zoners that jumped in here and hung out with us for 2 hours, man. Over 300 in the chat today. And to my man out in the D, my boy Van Washington, V-Dub, what's going on, baby? Appreciate you jumping in, you know, just getting off that truck, but you took time to say hello to us. To my panel brothers, it's been a great day, man. This has been a great day. Very spirited, man, and I love the spirit, man, and I love it. Ooh, and I can smell what Poles is cooking, baby, and it smells so good. Just add more to that gumbo, you know. With that being said, man, until either later today or tomorrow when we have more news for you, hey, man, it's been swell, baby. It's been swell.
Go ahead, kids.
Yeah, so this was an awesome episode of the Nomad Network, Nomad Live. It was a great episode, guys. Chat, No Maniacs, you guys killed it today. Thank you for your support in all the super chats. Thank you for your support just in being here and representing with us to the tune of 300+ basically for the entire show for 2 solid hours. That's blown my mind alone, let alone all these crazy aspirations for our team, for Ryan Poles. What he's done in free agency, what he might well do, which at this point is squarely pointing to a Danielle Hunter signing, right? Like all the other guys are starting to disappear. So if Danielle Hunter winds up in a Chicago Bears uniform, I will not be happy. We may have to resuscitate a certain Mr. Washington, though. That being said, No Maniacs, super happy with you guys for coming through. My guys, Keith, Sean, Chris, Brian in the back, and the guy without a face. I think we did an awesome show. Love rocking with you guys as per normal. Bear down.
You know what we need? I got the perfect song for you, Nomad.
Without a face.
Don't play it.
Billy out, baby. I'm right there with
Cue
you.
it up, baby.
Don't
Cue it
play
up.
man. You get us a strike. Don't play it, please.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
Hey, just want to say thank
Sorry,
you.
Billy.
My sports owners and the Nomaniacs unite. Great show today. 300 plus people in the chat. Thank you for the super chats. That was awesome. Thank you, man. It was great. You know, when it's really good, please make sure you go and you follow Sports Zone Chicago at my YouTube channel. It's growing, and I support that you guys are doing it. Everyone, just take a quick moment, head to YouTube. Or when you get off, just go to Sports Zone Chicago, subscribe. It's free. We want to do a lot of things over there. We're in conjunctions, collabo with the Nomad Network, and we're talking. We're talking real football. We're talking. You know, we wanted to keep it honest. We wanted to keep the narrative from going one way, and now it looks like that there's, despite the fact that people have tried to swing it one way, there's nothing. It's called la onda in Spanish. La onda. It's like the wave, the movement. Okay, there's nothing they can do. It's coming back, and there's gonna be a lot of dudes backpedaling better than Deion Sanders, man, and he was a Hall of Famer, and they're backpedaling like a Mother Hubbard. So, you know what? We stayed true. We stayed true to who we were. We never wavered, and we appreciate your love and your support. All right, this whole time, man. We will see you mañana. I am fired up. I am happy as a little girl.
Go ahead. Chris, you want to give any pleasantries before you get out of here, man?
Yeah, man, I just want to thank everybody who joined in today. Thank you for the support. It's great to see my man Ambrose Freeman in the chat. He's a homeboy and the best DJ this side of Mississippi. I also want to give a shout out to all my guys on the chat panel. On the panel, brother Keith, good to see you. Kids, great job today. Shawn Sierra, you know I love you, brother. Nomad, I love you too. And listen, everybody, don't forget to subscribe, support the channel. Please go over to Sports Zone Chicago and give them the same love you give us, man. Great content over there. We appreciate the notifications, guys. Hit the notifications so we can give you this information and you'll know it will be up. Brian, great job in the back. And listen, y'all better bear it down.
Again, guys, thank you, everybody, for being here. We gave you guys an extra hour. I think it was worth doing because there's so much news breaking right now, and you guys have been awesome in the chat. And I just want to send a special shout out to everybody that donated for our first time having super chats. What a way to say.
Let me list them, Nomad, before you're done.
Right ahead, kids.
Yeshua Yadua, Jason.
You want to just
Jay
put them up there?
Evans.
Why don't you just put them up there?
Oh, good idea. Okay, so Yeshua Yadua, there's yours. Jason with a $10 super chat for us today. Jay Evans, $2. Thanks for coming through and blessing us with a little bit of support and love. Arturo Arnold, thank you. You've been supporting us for quite some time. I'm glad to see it monetarily this time around. No, mad love to you. Mitch Osborne with a $100 super chat out of the woodwork. Mitch, thank you for supporting us across the board. Knox Corbett, honestly, I'm not sure if I've seen you in the chat before, but again, thank you very much for representing with us and giving us a little bit of love. Doge Killer Don, yo, kill that Doge, Don. It's going up, brother. It's going up right now. I'm right there with you, but I think my lady right now is the one. You know what I'm talking about. Vizzo Joe, hey, man, thanks for representing with us once more. You've definitely been around and in the chat. Glad to see you still rocking with us. And MJ Kinney with a $10 super chat. Hey, thanks for coming out, MJ. Again, you're one of those folks that haven't seen regularly. By all means, please, with the chat as pumping as it is, please like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend.
Hey, guys, real quick. The Lions have acquired Carlton Davis, quarterback from the Bucks, per trade, says Tom Pelissero.
Uh-oh. Your work ain't done there, kids. My God.
One more from James Matusek. James,
who's that? Go ahead.
James, at $50. Keep spreading the good word, fellas. That's straight from the mouth of James Matusek.
I'm trying to put it up. My bad.
I got it. We're both fighting over putting up your chat here, James. Hey, man, James is always in the chat, representing with us and rocking with us once more. $50 to support the network. We love it. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. Bear down.
We had another special guest, Coach T. Thanks for jumping on, man, and checking us out, brother. We really appreciate the support.
Coach,
I missed the coach.
What
I
up,
didn't
Coach?
see him.
Hey, man, let me just say this to you guys, man.
Oh,
Sometimes
there he is.
there are times when you know, you really feel overwhelmed sometimes. I know I do, just being, you know, the leader of the network, but everybody involved, sometimes I know they feel this too. Sometimes you feel overwhelmed by the amount of support that you get. And it's a good feeling. It's not like a bad overwhelming. It's the best feeling in the world. It just validates why we all do this. And the fact that so many people appreciate it, and I said this to someone on Twitter, it just makes me want to work harder. And it's not going to make me fall back on laurels. It's not going to make us change when we start getting sponsorships and things like that. It's just going to make us work a little bit harder. And so when we do start to have to pause for little commercials to get some sponsorship in, all we'll do is extend the show a little bit to give you more content. And so that when you see that, just don't be alarmed by it. Whenever it happens, just know that we'll give you extra content for the fact that we have to break in and do a few sponsorships. So just know that, we do really appreciate you guys, man. The love is reciprocated every single day. I just want you all to know that we receive it, and we're pushing it back out to you guys in the same manner. And so with that being said, one more time, love you guys. Hopefully we might have something going on later on. We'll see. But if not, we'll see you guys tomorrow at 1, Nomad Live with Sports Zone Chicago. Make sure if you haven't liked this thing, make sure you hit the notification bell, because you don't know if we have something that might break in the next couple of hours or so. Just make sure you do that, and make sure we got 214 people left. Make sure we get at least half of those people give us a subscribe. And when you do, you keep doing that every day, guys. You keep making sure that we get those subscriptions every day. And the next thing you know, we'll be the best Chicago Bears podcast out there, because you'll make it that way. And so just make sure, if you do nothing, hit the subscribe button on the way out the door. Love you guys, but I got to leave you with these famous words: love, peace, and hair grease, y'all.
Bear down.
Bear down, y'all.
Now, baby.
Daniil Hunter next. Boom.
All right, man.